Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Jack Edwards Reserve. We're in the final month of the NPL Victoria season before the finals do kick underway, and this is a huge clash and a very healthy crowd here to see the Oakleigh Cannons take on South Melbourne. It is round 24. My name is Adam Sarikoglu. This is a huge clash for both sides. It might be last chance saloon for South Melbourne. We'll go through starting lineups now, and we'll start with the Oakleigh Cannons, who are in fine form after a big win last week against Avondale. The starters: number 2, Tom Matthews, Ramazan Tavzanchioglu. In number 3, Blair Govan. Number 5, number 8, Ryan Pakskowski. The hero last week, number 10, Joe Guest. Number 11, Wade Decker. 13, Hamish Miller. 16, Harry White. 17, John Honos in goal this evening. 23, Matthew Fascini. And 41, Luke Pavlu for South Melbourne. Number 5, Jake Marshall. 7, Giordano Marafiotti. Number 9, Vasi Konstantinidis. Number 10, Marcus Schroen, the captain. Number 11, Brad Norton. 15, Ben Gibber. 18, Con Stratomitros. 20, Zach Bates in goal. Number 22, Josh Doran. 35, Melvin Beckett. And 45, Jerry Salados. This is one of 3 games in NPL Victoria this evening. And, well, the Melbourne Knights have an important game at Kingston City, a rare Friday night fixture at home for Kingston City. Melbourne Knights start this round equal on points with South Melbourne on the table at 31 points. So the South Melbourne fans will be keeping half an eye on what is happening at Kingston City. The other game is at Dandenong City, who are hosting Bentley Greens. So Oakleigh can just about lock in a finals berth with the victory here this evening. South Melbourne looking to keep their finals hopes alive. It is a very healthy crowd here at Jack Edwards Reserve. Jerry Salados will kick things off. Our referee is Jonathan Barrero. As 8:30 ticks by local time, and indeed, round 24 gets underway. And it's a big one in NPL Victoria. A stunning 92nd minute winner by Joe Guest last week gave the 3 points to the Oakleigh Cannons, who were hosting Avondale. That's Ryan Pakskowski getting an early touch and giving way to throws. Jake Marshall. They have not lost, Oakleigh Cannons, they have not lost in a very, very long time. April 27, it was round 10 at Avondale, a 3-1 loss. They've collected points in every game since. One of the form teams in NPL Victoria have recovered brilliantly from a pretty slow start, as this one goes out an early corner. He's given away by Ben Gibber. Ryan Pakskowski will send an early ball in to see if he can test one of the bigger goalkeepers in NPL Victoria, Josh Doran of South Melbourne. Good to see a very healthy showing by the fans here this evening. Pakskowski, the out-swinging ball. Schroen's out the back here for South Melbourne. Can't quite pick out Zach Bates. Pakskowski's on the receiving end of this ball, and he does get around Gibber. But Gibber did well to just interrupt the ball on the way through, and it landed safely with Josh Doran, and he unleashes the first big throw of the night. Cleared halfway. And South Melbourne will get possession back. South Melbourne in the all-white kits this evening. And it's Oakleigh in their traditional home blue. It's been a game played mostly in Oakleigh's attacking third so far this evening. It's Miller who is beaten. Now 3 South Melbourne men to deal with. Pakskowski regains possession. No. Miller, that's a good shot. Doran forced to save. And then a ball popped up. Did well to clear away in the end. Some good early goalkeeping by Josh Doran. And the active support is up and about early this evening at Jack Edwards Reserve. It'll be Hamish Miller to take this throw. So South Melbourne entering this game 8th place on the table. This is a must win where all 3 points are an absolute necessity. They're coming off a 3-0 win at home to Dandenong Thunder. Two teams that are playing a lot of the back ends of their fixtures at home. Beckett gets in the way of the throw. Can't clear away though. Gibber will try to. And he ran out of room. So another throw. Up front for the Oakleigh Cannons, looking dangerous early. And the first counter of the night launch now. Konstantinidis has it for South Melbourne, but the pass is too heavy for Salatos. We'll keep our eyes on the scores of the other two games across NPL Victoria this evening, Dandenong City and Kingston City. So Tom Matthews gets his first involvement. Now this is Fashini, has Schroen for company. Goes out for a goal kick. It was a thrilling contest last week here at Jack Edwards Reserve, where Avondale were the visitors. A brace by Harry White and the late winner by Joe Guest. Delivering all 3 points for the Oakleigh Cannons. Doran's clearance. Beckett just wrong-footed. Couldn't get good penetration on his ball. Matthews launches another long one. Paxkowski will be second to it this time. Ball spills back out to Beckett. And here's Konstantinidis once more. Looking to split some defenders. Konstantinidis, the left foot ball. Pushed off it. Falls well wide of the goal. No problems for John Honos. I hope the pictures are doing justice of the amount of fans on the outer side. It's more populated on this near side where the main grandstand is. It's a very healthy crowd here this evening. Zach Bates goes down at the edge of the area. And Jonathan Barrero is pointing to the penalty spot. Wow. An early twist at Jack Edwards Reserve. All of the first 5 minutes belonged to the Oakleigh Cannons, but now presents a huge chance for South Melbourne to get an early lead. Zach Bates brought down just inside the edge of the area, and that was enough for Jonathan Barrero to point to the spot. It will be Marcus Schroen. 3 goals to his name this season in NPL Victoria. Up against John Honos. Marcus Schroen for the early South Melbourne lead. Hesitates and scores! Made 2 moves. But when he struck, it was a perfect strike and an early lead for South Melbourne. Marcus Schroen with his 4th goal of the season. And a wonderful start for the visitors. Well, how did Chris Taylor's men respond to that? Almost the entirety of the game was played in the final third for Oakleigh Cannons. That was essentially only South Melbourne's second attacking play of the game. And they are on the board first. We did see 7 goals here last week. It's only taken us 7 minutes to see the first one here tonight. Of course, South Melbourne scored in the opening 15 seconds against their rival Melbourne Knights a couple of weeks ago at Lakeside Stadium. It didn't take Knights long to get the equaliser. It stayed 1-1 after 2 goals in the first 15 minutes that day. Esteban Quintas will be certainly hoping his men can hold on to this lead much longer than they did that day. Falls here for Marafiotti. Looking for Salados, who will be able to track this down. If not, let it go out for a throw. Does track it down in time. Another dangerous ball in. Bates can't get the second header. Oakleigh out of danger. The throw awarded to the Cannons. Paxkowski goes down in the area. Jonathan Barrero waves it off. A couple of incidents inside both penalty boxes that has required a decision by Jonathan Barrero. This time, he waves it off. And the drop kick clearance by Josh Doran. It's a very lively start to round 24 in NPL Victoria. A chilly but dry night. And a nice move by Joe Guest. Beckett cuts him off though. Wins it back for South Melbourne. It's a very good clearance as well. Bates wins his battle against Matthews. This is Jerry Salados. And now it's Konstantinidis. Fired a shot away earlier, not on target. This is Gibber. The cross in. Konstantinidis at the near post. Honos using his feet to make the save. Now Marafiotti stays in play. And if the first 5 minutes belong to the Oakleigh Cannons, the next 5 have been all South Melbourne. Got an early goal between Dandenong City and Bentley Greens, and it is Dandenong City who have struck first. Salados, another quality ball in. And then from long range, Brad Norton doesn't get anywhere near the target. It was Marcus Schroen's 4th goal of the season. More often than not, he is the preferred corner taker for South Melbourne. When called upon in the 7th minute, he delivered the lead for the men in the white kits this evening. It falls for Beckett's. Ball just eludes him though, runs away from him. And possession conceded. The long ball by Fashini looking for Wade Decker. Results in a South Melbourne throw. Maybe a chance for everyone to just breathe here at Jack Edwards Reserve. Ball comes back into play now. Another free kick going Oakleigh's way. as I said, it's a fairly dry evening. It's a deck that looks in very good condition here at Jack Edwards Reserve. An ever so slight breeze does seem to be present. So the free kick now coming in. Miller. There was no one there at the landing spot. Zach Bates has been busy. He was the man brought down that resulted in the penalty. It's Paxkowski now making a decent run into the area and brilliantly won back by Brad Norton. A great tackle to strip the ball. And now it's Constantinides making another dangerous run. But Tom Matthews gets in the way, wins it back nicely. Some good defensive play at both ends. Two of the more experienced defenders in NPL Victoria. Matthew Fashini. How's that ball for Paxkowski? Saw him on the left early in this game. Last couple of balls coming his way have been on the right. Tom Matthews to take the throw here for Oakleigh. Does Wade Decker chase this down? He does, and wins his team a throw. Fashini. A shallower ball. It's a very good ball off the crossbar. And it goes into the back of the nets. There's the equaliser. Just like against Knights, South Melbourne lose their early lead. It's 1-1. Harry White scored 2 goals last week. He's on the board again tonight. His 9th goal of the season. And now Jonathan Barrero's making his way over to the South Melbourne technical area. And a yellow card is shown to Esteban Quintas. So it was a header off a crossbar, then on the rebounds it was Harry White who sunk the ball, put it away. And we're back to square at Jack Edwards Reserve. But it's not all bad news for South Melbourne fans as Kingston City has scored against South Melbourne. Ben Jibba now goes into the deck. Fashini the instigator. No cards are shown. As I look back to the score, it is Kingston City 1, Melbourne Knights 0. And that is good news for South Melbourne fans. So play resumes. Deflected ball, Constantinides. Pavlou gets in his way. A high ball from Matthews. White at the full. Well trapped by Stratomitros. Now Salados. Paskowski gets it back for the Cannons, but now Jibba. Marshall was under some pressure. Salados. A wayward pass for Constantinides. Looks like it's a high-scoring night in NPL Victoria. A second goal in the game between Dandenong City and Bentley Greens. It is 1-1 in that clash. So already 5 goals combined in the 3 games. Kicking off rounds at 24 in NPL Victoria. It's an Oakleigh throw here. Ryan Paxkowski. That ball's just going to float well over the crossbar. A miscued ball in. Safely out for a goal kick. Konstantinidis, it's a quality ball for Jerry Salatos. South Melbourne on the attack. Salatos can strike from long range. Couldn't get a good shot away. Beckett steals it back. Cannon's defence under pressure once more. Melvin Beckett's. Ball was very well won back. And Alton does well as well. Schroen from long range. It was a quality shot. Just over the crossbar. Didn't test John Honos too much. But Esteban Quintas must like what he's seeing at the moment. Safely out for a goal kick. Well, we're past the first 20 minutes now. It is 1-1. In the 8th minute, a penalty scored by Marcus Schroen was the first goal of the game. And then 8 minutes later, Harry White with the equaliser. As we wait for a fresh ball to come into play here. So a goal every 8 minutes, which means we're probably only 3 minutes away before the next one. That's the schedule we're on at the moment. Schroen, who's been very busy so far tonight. Ball forward doesn't amount to much though. Now Fashini. Paxkowski. The quick switch out to the right. Matthews. Norton for company. It'll be a corner. Second corner of the night for Oakleigh. Ryan Paxkowski took the first one. He'll make his way over to the right for this second one. Ball swings in late. Gorvan flew for the header. Now White. Shallow ball in though. Bates chasing this ball down with intent. Salatos, a great ball for Bates. But he's beaten to the ball by Hamish Miller, who then goes down. Just got clipped. Ended up on the ground, and it will be a free kick for the Oakleigh Cannons. So 1-1 here, 1-1 as well between Dandenong City and Bentley Greens. And a 1-0 lead for Kingston City over Melbourne Knights. All three games kicking off at 8:30 this evening. Of course, there wasn't originally intended to be any NPL Victoria action next weekend, but there will be one match, and Oakleigh will be playing in that Heidelberg United, a game that was called off earlier in the season. So that is a catch-up game. 3 games still to come after tonight for the Cannons, only 2 for South Melbourne. This is South Melbourne's last away fixture of the season. South Melbourne free kick. After the Harry White goal for the Oakleigh Cannons, a yellow card shown to the South Melbourne gaffer, Esteban Quintas. So he's been put on notice. Dangerous ball out the back. Govan does hurriedly get the ball away in the end. Benjiba taking his time. Went short to Konstantinidis. Beckett, Schroen. And now Melvin Beckett. Here comes the long ball. It's another good one. But Marafiotti couldn't control it. This is Stratomitros. The first touch too heavy. Pakskowski blazing away. Gives away possession. Marafiotti went down in back play. It was right in the eyesight, in the line of sight of Jonathan Barrero, and he did blow his whistle. It's quickly taken by Schroen. Well done by Tufsan Chioglu. Now this is Joe Guest. Jibba does well on Decker. Pavlu. Matthews. Looking to pick out Guest. Melvin Beckett has been very busy though. And gets in his way. Tangled things up enough to eventually give away the throat. Guest does well to get in front of it. Cut back in, there was no one there, but it does set up a potential long-range ball for Fashini. And then just caught wrong-footed. Dyron with the save, but caught wrong-footed was Hamish Miller. Did well to get a pretty penetrable shot in the end, but it perhaps wasn't with full power. Dyron cleared away. It's a corner. Almost falls to Harry White at the back, but it goes out safely from a South Melbourne perspective. Most of the fence around the pitch well lined with supporters this evening. fine winter's Friday night for football here at Jack Edwards Reserve. It's a wayward ball by Josh Doran. Miller's throw can't quite pick out White's. Constantinides' ball. Ends up back with Oakleigh. Guest. Back to the skipper. Matthews. Guest kept making a run toward the right corner flag. Cuts back in. Now a very long range ball, but Josh Doran's in the right spot. Marafiotti. Ramazan Tufsanchioglu not happy to see that he's given away a free kick in a very dangerous spot here. A chance at a set piece for South Melbourne. Vasi Constantinides has come in for the conference. Oakleigh setting up the wall just outside the area. Jerry Salados, Marcus Schroen, Brad Norton are the four options here for this South Melbourne free kick. It's their first look at a set piece this evening. Of course, Marcus Schroen already on the scoreboard. 8 minutes in, a penalty. After Zach Bates was brought down in the area. So Jonathan Barrero blows the whistle. Looks like it's Vasi Constantinides who might be setting up, or it could be Schroen. It is going to be Constantinides. Blocked on the way through though by Matthews. Joe Guest wins the free kick now. And the visiting South Melbourne fans not too happy to see that decision go against them. Another dangerous little ball in. Doesn't amount to anything. Tufsanchioglu has actually conceded ground. And the throw for South Melbourne is going to take place only about 10-15 metres away from the corner flag here. Salados gets it back from Norton. Marcus Schroen was trying to pick out the little lob pass over the top for Salados. There'll be no goal there as the free kick has gone Oakleigh's way. Gibber gets it from Melvin Beckett. Not much to go to ahead, so just held on top of the ball for a moment, went back. It's back with Gibber now. Zach Bates gets pushed over by Hamish Miller. It will be a throw though for Oakleigh. Tufsanchioglu. It's another skew-if kick. That results in a South Melbourne throw. Salados does well to read it in flight. Then he got brought down, got pulled down. Not enough to warrant a free kick in the eyes of Jonathan Barrero. That might. That does. Brad Norton wants to take this ball quickly. Cooler heads prevail though, and they'll set something up with the long ball in. 4 men at the top of the area currently. A fifth is coming in now. As Jonathan Barrero looks to get the spot right. Marcus Schroen. He was swinging off the left peg here. It's a fairly deep pass, and the header. Not a bad effort at all in the end by Konstratomitros. Did well, John Honos. It's a corner for South Melbourne. A great ball in. Stratomitros was onside. South Melbourne will get a corner. This is Jerry Salatos. It'll be an in-swinging ball. Toward the back post again. Stratomitros was the man, but going down as the ball was coming in was Tom Matthews, and a free kick for Oakleigh. Fashini wins it here for Oakleigh. Joe Guest. And now it's Paskowski. It's another neat ball in. Norton was in the right spot to clear away though. Guest gets confused with Fashini. Miller. Paskowski once more. Outside of the boot ball. Was trapped by Stratomitros. Beckett wins it back off Fashini, and now it's Konstantinidis. He's made some dangerous runs so far this evening. Gets around Tavsanchioglu. Schroen. Schroen's ball is, well, on target. Honos had enough time to get in front of it though. White was looking for his captain. Slados looking to break on the counter. A game that's full of life and energy here at Jack Edwards Reserve. Zach Bates has gone down and does look to be in a little bit of trouble here. This might be a stoppage in play. Look to have collected some heavy contact on the way through. And Zach Bates. The man who generated the penalty chance for South Melbourne with a very dangerous running ball in. Requires some attention. It's an Oakleigh goal kick, so no need for play to restart. He will come to the sideline, get some treatment. So South Melbourne will play with 10 for the time being. Stratomitros can't get past Matthews. A very clever first touch by Harry White. And a very heavy ball in. That amounts to nothing as we just monitor the situation with Zach Bates at the moment. He's back up on his feet now, still clearly not 100%. We'll do some run-throughs. Josh Doran at the other end is in no rush to send this ball back into play. No movement on the South Melbourne bench either, so Zach Bates might be okay to come back out, at least for the time being. We'll see if he lasts through to the half-time whistle and then comes out to start the second half. Here's Joe Guest. Ryan Pakskowski. Guest pushed out of it by Beckett. Waved away by the referee, Jonathan Barrero. So a couple of arguments made by some of the Oakleigh players. Josh Doran just gets on with things. Looks as though Zach Bates is ready to come back out. Here's Salatos. Marafiotti. Beckett's. Ball through, doesn't find Konstantinidis. Pavlu. Oakleigh on the counter. Zach Bates now told he can come back out, so we're back to 11 v 11. Fair play by Miller. Here's Beckett. Marafiotti. Norton. Can't connect with Salatos that time. Well, we reported earlier a 1-0 lead for Kingston City against Melbourne Knights. We can now report that Melbourne Knights down to 10 men. A red card has been dished out in that game, so it's 11 v 10 in favour of Kingston City, who lead the game 1-0. Coming into this round, both South Melbourne and the Knights equal on 31 points in the middle of the NPL Victoria table. Both playing for their finals lives here. The throw's going to go Oakleigh's way here. Pakskowski wanted to quickly get on with it. Well-placed throw as well for Guest. It comes back to Pakskowski via Decker toward the front post. It swings out late. It's with Ben Gibber. It's going to be pressured. Harry White came in. They both get tangled up. And it's going to be a free kick here for Oakleigh. Chance now for the Cannons to set something up in the front third. Could they snatch the lead before half-time here? We're 3.5 minutes away from the 45. We might get a minute or two after Zach Bates went down only a couple minutes ago and required some treatment. And now a free kick just outside the area. Beckett was the man that went down. A yellow card is shown. A free kick, a chance at a massive set piece here. So a couple of yellow cards dished out. From about, 19, 20 yards out, this is a big chance for Oakleigh to get the lead. It's Wade Decker or Ryan Pakskowski who will look to send this one past Josh Doran. As well as what looks like a six-man wall for South Melbourne. It'll be neither. Falls well wide to the left in the end. Joe Guest's ball not on target. Bates can't just connect there with Konstantinidis. Trapped on ground level by Beckett. Schrone sits on top of it for a moment, assesses his options. A couple available on the left, including Norton, Solados. Has Wade Decker for company. Norton's ball in. There's no one at the top of the area for South Melbourne. Paxkowski. Guest. White. And now Matthews. Chuba gets it from Beckett. Chuba again at the fall for South Melbourne, but his ball, well, stays in play in the end. Fashini got there in time. Cutting the ball off is Marcus Schrone. Brings the ball beyond halfway. Solados, Schrone. A lot of blue shirts around him. Lost control of the ball. Beckett. Blazed away from long range. And there's a small opening here for Oakleigh on the left side. We have gone past the 45. A small nudge there. Referee says that warrants a free kick for South Melbourne. So 1-1 here. Same scoreline between Dandenong City and Bentley Greens, and 1-0. Kingston City leading a 10-man Melbourne Knights. Very close to half-time here at Jack Edwards Reserve. One last chance at an attack here for South Melbourne. Jibba to take the throw. Konstantinidis ripped off the ball, went down. This might be the last action we see in the first half here. Marcus Schrone again comes across to set this ball up. It'll be an in-swinging ball. Probably more likely intended for the back post. Constro Dimitros has been the aerial threat for South Melbourne. Here's a back post ball. It's cleared away, almost an own goal. Ramazan Tafsanchioglu did clear away, and that's it. It's half-time at Jack Edwards Reserve. A penalty in the 8th minute was the opening goal of the game via Marcus Schrone. And then 8 minutes later, Harry White got the equaliser. Half-time, round 24 at Jack Edwards Reserve. Oakleigh Cannons 1, South Melbourne 1. Welcome back to Jack Edwards Reserve. 1-1 is our scoreline between Oakleigh Cannons and South Melbourne. No half-time substitutions for either side. And Jonathan Barrero does get the second half underway. It is now Oakleigh attacking toward the right of your YouTube and Facebook screen. Hope you enjoyed the first half. Sit back, enjoy the next 45 minutes. It was an entertaining first 45 between two teams in the upper middle reaches of the NPL Victoria table. This is Ben Gibber. Throw here for Oakleigh. Paxkowski has the ball, elude him. Matthews. This is Wade Decker. Govan. Ryan Paxkowski. Oakleigh happy to be a little patient with their ball movement to start this second half. Throw's going to go Oakleigh's way here. This is Decker. Joe Guest. Decker made a run toward the area, but Guest cut back instead. Now Paxkowski. It does find a way through. White and straight to Josh Doran. No penetration on the shot by Miller. They look to counter here. Norton. Zach Bates. Konstantinidis. Straight to Tom Matthews. Only gets as far as Sharono. Was there a handball there? Referee says no. Havley. Bates now. Now a whistle has gone. It'll be the Cannons' way. Or maybe South Melbourne's way. Jonathan Barrero pointing in both directions. It will indeed be a South Melbourne ball. South Melbourne in the white kit this evening. This is their last away fixture for the season. Home games against Altona Magic and Heidelberg United to round out the season. Both at Lakeside Stadium. Ben Gibber. Some nifty foot skills there from Marcus Schroen. Assistant referee sees a free kick. It'll go Oakleigh's way. Melvin Beckett. This is Schroen. Konstantinidis keeps his feet. Gets it back from Jibba. Vasi Konstantinidis. It's a good run in. Comes unstuck just at the edge of the area. This is Wade Decker. Some space here on the right for Matthews. Guest. Decker. Trying to flick away through to Guest. We haven't seen an offside flag go up yet this evening. Hasn't been one of those sorts of games with a lot of attacking ball from the wing. Here's Konstantinidis once more. Zach Bates drew the penalty earlier in the first half. Goes out for a goal kick this time around. This is one of 3 games taking place in NPL Victoria this evening. A high-scoring affair between Dandenong City and Bentley Greens. It was 2-1 at halftime in favour of City, but Greens have scored their second of the night, a 2-2 ball game between Dandenong City and Bentley Greens. The other one that might be of interest to South Melbourne fans is that the 10 men of Melbourne Knights are trailing Kingston City 1-0 in the third game taking place this evening. Bates tried to thread a through ball through there. Didn't work out for Marcus Schroen. Bouncing ball to be collected here by Wade Decker. Matthews all the way back to the safety of John Honos. Here's Schroen. Salados making a run, but Matthews cuts it off. Then Tom Matthews again, the experienced head, blazing away. And now Stratomitros finds himself in front of Harry White. Still well there, Harry White. It will be a corner for the Oakleigh Cannons. A very healthy crowd in to watch this one. Oakleigh will go a step closer to locking in a top 6 spot with a win this evening. South Melbourne, it's almost a must-win situation. It's not quite win or you're out of the finals, but close enough for the visitors. It's into the back of the net here. Guest sent the ball in. It came off the boot of Wade Decker, and it's 2-1 in favour of the Oakleigh Cannons. An early second half strike. Wade Decker, who has scored some nice goals at that end this season, gives Oakleigh Cannons the lead. It was the 8th minute of the first half when we saw the first goal at that end, and in the 8th minute here in the second half, the same thing has happened where a goal has resulted in a lead. But now it's Oakleigh's to defend. So, might see a bit more spark now here from South Melbourne. This is Ben Jibba. Just lost the ball, lost control of it. And it rolled out of bounds. Here's Jerry Salatos from a longer range. That wasn't a bad shot. Inches over the crossbar. A high-quality strike from downtown by Jerry Salatos. But it remains 2-1 in favour of the Oakleigh Cannons. Free kick here for Harry White. Heavy challenge, went down. And a free kick in a dangerous spot here for Oakleigh. We saw a South Melbourne free kick in this exact same range late in the first half. That didn't amount to much in the end. We'll see what Ryan Paxkowski can do with this ball. So we're 11 minutes into the second half. Paxkowski, back post ball. Doran comes out to meet it. Lands with Matt Fashini. Back post for White. Dangerous ball! And the skipper scores! Tom Matthews! Tom Matthews! 2 goals in the space of a couple of minutes. A yellow card for Josh Doran as well. In fact, 2 yellow cards. It is 3-1 out of nowhere at Jack Edwards Reserve. That was Tom Matthews' first goal of the season. And now Oakleigh in complete control. Not only a goal, but a couple of yellow cards for their trouble as well that South Melbourne have coughed up here. It's 3-1 all of a sudden. Now it's a real urgent situation for South Melbourne. Ben Gibber for Schroen. Strong tackle by Ryan Paxkowski. Ends up being a South Melbourne throw. Gibber to take it. Konstantinidis. Got caught behind that time. So they have broken this game open in the space of a couple of minutes here, Oakleigh. In the space of 3 minutes to be exact. They need to create something here, South Melbourne. Schroen. Konstantinidis from long range! Not far off. The second long range ball that has not gone far away from scoring for South Melbourne. It was flicked over and it will be a corner. We now have the first substitution of the night. Zach Bates has come off. Was under an injury cloud. Nick Krasaratis has come on for South Melbourne. And it's a pretty woeful corner. A little rattled at the moment of South Melbourne. Oakleigh find themselves in a rather comfortable position here as we approach the hour mark. This is Marafiotti. Quickly whips in. Govan just as quickly deflects out. Thirteen consecutive NPL Victoria games where Oakleigh have not lost. They look to be on track to extend that run to 14 games. South Melbourne's finals hopes are teetering on a fine edge at the moment. Pakskowski does well to trap it. Harry White was pressured by Stratomitros. And we have a corner for South Melbourne, or for Oakleigh I should say. So an hour played here at Jack Edwards Reserve. South Melbourne scored the first goal of the game. But the next three have all belonged to the Cannons. Guest just eludes him. Krasaratis, the new man on the pitch. Fashini wins it back. Joe Guest is onside. Joe Guest. Doran loses footing. Open net for Wade Decker. When it rains, it pours. 4-1 in favour of Oakleigh. And some South fans have seen enough. 3 goals in the space of 9 minutes. It's a masterclass at the moment by the Oakleigh Cannons, the form team of NPL Victoria. It looks almost certain now their undefeated run is going to stretch to 14 and a 3-goal lead. Wade Decker, the man on top of the ball at the moment, has 2 of the 4 goals. The Sting well and truly out of this for the time being. Jerry Salados. Now Marafiotti. Marcus Schroen. Norton making a run here on the left. Sims the ball in. One defender lost his footing. A very nice header by Konstantinides. And Krasaratis misses a goal he should surely have scored. Took a touch on the way through, so it will be a corner kick. Nothing going right, though, for South at the moment. It's been a remarkable 18 minutes so far in this second half. If you're just tuning in and seeing a 4-1 lead for Oakleigh, I can tell you that when this half started, it was a 1-1. And South Melbourne led this game. Salados the ball in. It is a good one. The header over the top of the bar. The third time the ball's gone over the crossbar for South Melbourne. It's a goal kick. They're asking for a corner. Won't get it. And still just the 1 goal to their name this evening. A second substitution, and it might be a double substitution for South Melbourne. Peter Skipidis and Perry Lambropoulos are both coming on. So that's all 3 subs. That have expired for South Melbourne. Marafiotti's the other man off for South. Esteban Quintas has pulled the trigger early on his substitutions. Still all three up the sleeve of Chris Taylor. This is Joe Guest. Guest, the front post ball. Decker misses. And that perhaps should have been 5 for Oakleigh. And that would have been a hat-trick for Wade Decker as well. Chances going begging at both ends. Bit of byplay between Tom Matthews and the active South Melbourne supporters to our left here from our commentary position. Some South fans, as I said, have seen enough and are making their way home. Their finals chances were hinging on a win tonight. While mathematically they might not be out of it yet, it's looking highly unlikely now that we'll see South Melbourne in the finals this season. Oakleigh entered this game 6th on the table, remarkable considering their form. But it was a very poor start to their season. Just eludes Decker here. Skiphead chases down for South Melbourne. Salatos. Konstantinidis, who has presented well all night. Lambropoulos looking to inject himself into the contest, but the ball goes out for a John Honos goal kick. Ryan Paxikowski to take the throw here for Oakleigh. You can probably hear the frustrations coming through. It's a healthy South Melbourne crowd, as it often is in these away fixtures. Over the head of Harry White here. Guest. Fashini. The ball runs away from him. Chris Taylor known for holding on to his substitutions. Oakleigh haven't made one yet. All three of South Melbourne's have come and gone. Front post ball, Doran lost his footing. It's going to come away safely in the end, but it's not the first time Doran's lost his footing this evening. Wade Decker's second goal came from Wayne Decker falling on the deck and an open net. It was Doran that fell over and Decker scored the tap in. That's a very high quality ball in by Paxikowski. Can't connect though. Blair Govan. Paxikowski again. Salatos gets it back via Melvin Beckett for South Melbourne. Here is Jerry Salatos. Struck a very good ball that just flashed over the crossbar earlier in this half. Krasaratis sent a ball in that quickly got deflected back out. Now it's Krasaratis again. Shallow ball in Schroen's direction, but it doesn't quite arrive to him. Here's Guest, looking to break away from Beckett. This might be a yellow card for Chris Taylor. It is. So now both coaches have a yellow card tonight. Esteban Quintas and now Chris Taylor, both in Jonathan Barrero's book. Nice ball for Skipidis from Norton, who now passes for Salatos. Nice ball out wide, Krasaratis. Has Beckett for help. Has to find a way around Miller. Melvin Beckett. Nifty work to get into the area. Govan clears away for Oakleigh. South Melbourne throw. Can they press here and get one back? Honos collects easily in the end. Krasaratis does have the ball bounce his way, and his shot just kept going up. Situation getting desperate now for South Melbourne. Konstantinidis. Pavlou gets in the way of Schroen. Pakskowski for assistance. South Melbourne throw. So Heidelberg United away in a huge game. Friday night is the next fixture. It's a catch-up game for Oakleigh and Heidelberg United. Olympic Park, Olympic Village surface not up to scratch at the time of the original fixture. So still 3 games to come for Oakleigh. They look like one of the teams to beat at the moment. There is a game in hand, which might make the ladder position look a little deceiving. Tom Matthews, who has got a goal to his name tonight, guessed. He hasn't. Stratomitros on top of it now for South Melbourne. Pakskowski had to let that ball go past, otherwise he would have potentially committed a handball. Krasaratis on the right here for South Melbourne. Couldn't fire a shot. Well beaten by Hamish Miller. Pakskowski. Decker had some space, but the ball was intended for Guest, who was a little deeper. Now here is Decker. On a hat-trick is Wade Decker. Here's Guest. Paxkowski with a little space on the left. Near post ball. Trapped on ground level by Jake Marshall. Earlier in the season, it was a 2-0 win for Oakleigh. Jake Marshall, an own goal in that game. In that 2-0 victory at Lakeside Stadium. Salados, his ball is blocked. Here's Ryan Paxkowski. Decker. Just eating up some clock now. Here's Oakleigh. Best part of 15 plus stoppage time remaining in this round 24 fixture. It's a tricky run home for Oakleigh. There is a game against 12th place Pascoe Vale, but on either side of that, Heidelberg United and Green Gully are the remaining opponents. The final day of the season. Will be against Green Gully. That's when all fixtures kick off at the same time. That'll be on the 25th of August. Here's Fashini. Matthews. Toward the far post. Doran does not get the ball away. Joe Gessler was offside. An easy header into the back of the net, but Joe Guest was offside to begin with. It won't count. It remains 4-1 at Jack Edwards Reserve. It's been a fairly clean half. Only the 3 substitutions have been made so far. One of them was a double sub. So right now we're not looking at any more than a minute or two of added time when we do get to the 90. No, that's Joe Guest. In fact, that goes down fairly heavily. Set piece opportunity for Oakleigh. Maybe a second chance to get that 5th goal. That ball's gone straight to Josh Doran. This is Schroen. Skapidis will chase this down. Fellow 13, Hamish Miller for company. Shown at the feet of Matt Fashini. Bursting run through by Harry White. Doesn't work out that time for Oakleigh. This is Salados. Konstantinidis from long range, and Josh Honos, I should say, falls on top of it. Here's Harry White. Powerful ball in. Didn't get it past Jake Marshall though. Tough son Oakleigh leaves it for Blair Govan, but it's going to be a South Melbourne throw nonetheless. First substitution for Oakleigh. Ryan Paksikowski. No goals tonight, but has been very, very busy. And Goran Zoric will be his replacement. Norton straight into the back of the opposing number 11, the man that's on a hat-trick, Wade Decker. We're past the 80-minute mark now. Here's a second substitution being readied by Chris Taylor now. Salatos doesn't get close enough to Peter Skipetas to worry John Honos. So we are going to see a second substitution. Looks like Milos Lucic is going to come on for Harry White. Here is Milos Lucic is coming on for Harry White, who scored the first of Oakleigh's 4 goals this evening. Well, we had a flurry of goals earlier in this second half. The other scores around the grounds have stood still for most of the second half in each game. It's 1-0 in favour of Kingston City over Melbourne Knights, and Dandenong City is engaged in a 2-2 contest against Bentley Greens in the other 2 fixtures on this Friday night in NPL Victoria. Beckett and Stratomitros weren't on the same wavelength that time. Joe Guest thinking about a shot, fires a shot off the side netting. Decker. Lucic was offside. It is indeed an offside foul. Here's Wade Decker. His night might not be done. He's on a hat-trick. Matthews, a dangerous ball. And Josh Doran wasn't overly sure about what to do with that ball. It's out for a corner. As I look back down around the grounds, Dandenong City is back in the lead. for the third time this evening against Bentley. Dandenong City 3, Bentley Greens 2. Constantinides was there to meet that ball coming in. Miller. It's a dangerous bounce. Doran launches the long throw for Peter Skipidis. Had Fashini, Tufts-Hunchioglu, and Matthews for company. The numbers one out. Here's Constantinides. Beckett, Schwarn. Joe Guest on the right. They would love a 50th. Would the Cannons. Pavlu. Ball flashed out. It's a quality strike, but off target by Goran Zoric. A second goal for Kingston City against Melbourne Knights. So a 2-0 lead for Knights over... Sorry. 2-0 lead for Kingston over Melbourne Knights and a 3-2 lead for Dandenong City over Bentley. The Knights have surprising results pending here in NPL Victoria. A few twists and turns still left in this season, in this competition. Salados blocked. Shot by Govan. The block was from Govan. The shot was from Salados. The final change is ready for Chris Taylor. Felix Dimitrakis. He's going to get some late game time here. Beckett. Skipidis. Maybe thought about a shot from long range, but plenty of blue shirts between he and the target. On the counter, here's Lucic once more. Did fire away a wayward shot earlier. Gets a second look, but coming back to block was Marshall. Lucic once more front post, but Doran collects. Matthews gets it back for Oakleigh. Already has a goal to his name tonight. Back post ball, white shirts there. Here's Schroen. Looking to hold up. He does. Zoric was in his vicinity. Beckett. That ball's going to be met by Constantinides. Norton, offside. The final change. Hamish Miller is making way for Felix Dimitrakis. '89th minute now. Around and grounds, a 2-0 lead for Kingston City over Melbourne Knights, who have been down to 10 men for much of that one. Dandenong City leading Bentley Greens 3-2. A 4-1 lead for Oakleigh over South Melbourne here at Jack Edwards Reserve. Now we'll enter next week's standalone Friday night clash against Heidelberg United. It's a big game, that one. Now head into that game feeling very confident against the reigning champs. The remaining South Melbourne crowd starting to filter out now. Some had seen enough after the fourth goal of Oakleigh. Melvin Beckett does shoot, but ball never was really fired away in the end because there were plenty of blue shirts in the way blocking. Guest will wait for this ball at midfield. Lucic available to his left. It's coming his way now. Cut off on the way through by Perry Lampropoulos. It's looking like we'll get 3 minutes of added time. South Melbourne seemingly resigned to the fact that they're probably not finals bound this season in NPL Victoria. Salados Skepedes from long range, another blocked ball. Blair Govan has been stern in defence for Oakleigh. The 3 minutes go up from the fourth official. So a South Melbourne corner here. Constantinidis, the tallest option there. It doesn't fall too wide of the post in the end. But he's safely out for an Oakleigh goal kick. Decker flicks out wide. Zoric looking to combine with Guest, but Beckett's in the way for South Melbourne. Dimitrakis. And Decker looking for that third goal. Long, long way off in the end. So just a little over a minute left now. At Jack Edwards reserve. This is Constantinidis. Marshall. Lambropoulos. Jeremy Slados very tired. The ball wasn't near him in the end. This is now Pavlu. Lucic, was he being held onto by Jake Marshall? Jonathan Barrero says no. This one petering out now. The Oakleigh Cannons, a force to be reckoned with late in this NPL Victoria season. Huge game against Heidelberg United to come in 7 days' time. South Melbourne have a week off before hosting Altona Magic in 16 days from now. And their final game of the season will be against Heidelberg United. Full-time at Jack Edwards reserve. 2 goals in the end for Wade Decker. Tom Matthews scored his first goal of the NPL Victoria season. Harry White scored his 9th. Marcus Schroen scored the first goal of the game from the penalty spots for South Melbourne. But in the end, a 4-1 win for the Oakleigh Cannons over South Melbourne. I'm Adam Sarikoglu. Enjoy the rest of your NPL Victoria weekend.